So here we go. What we'll cover today is overcome your fears, the path to homeownership, time benefits, and your commitment. And there is this popular saying about real estate, says, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. That's the secret. So this is how to overcome your fears. We'll discuss about the fears and misconceptions. The path to homeownership will cover the steps you need to know in order to buy your home. The benefits of buying a home is the financial perks, ownership flexibility, and stability. And my commitment to you all today is we're in this together, and I'm here to serve you. All right, these are the common fears before buying a home. Number one, I can't afford to buy a home right now, and that could be all right, and that could be okay. Everybody buys at their own time frame. It's not based on good credit or money. It's based when you decide to. Even if you don't have the money at that time when you decide, that's sometimes not a big problem because there is down payment assistance programs. But the first step is take a decision. Getting the money for the down payment for the closing costs, I can help you work on that. So until you do that, you don't know what you can afford or you cannot. Are you paying rent? Most probably yes. You may be able to buy a home. You will be putting your rent towards paying your own home, not someone else's home or someone else's mortgage. There are tax savings that can often make up most of the difference between rent and mortgage. And that is you pay interest on the loan that you can write off, and you pay property taxes that you can write off. And also the first year you can write off some of the expenses, the closing costs. You present the closing statement to the tax preparer, and you may be able to write some of those expenses. Number two, fear. I can buy a home because my credit isn't good. There are always options. You can, if you don't have a good credit, that's not a big problem because we can work with you. So you can raise your FICO scores. And there are ways, first, if you pay on time every debt that you had on the credit cards. Number two, don't overexpend on your credit card because the FICO scores can go down easily. Don't spend more than 25, 30% of your full credit on the credit card. For example, if you have a credit of 1,000, don't have more than $250,000 spent. I'm sorry, $250 on the spend. And if you spend more and you are the person that pays everything at the end of the month, that's perfect. But we can help you work on it, me and the lender. They can go over also that the credit, and if we can help you to write letters if there is accounts in your credit that you think doesn't belong to you. You can write a letter to each one of the credit report companies, and they have to make sure to the creditors if they belong to you. If they don't belong to you or they don't answer, then the credit reporting companies have to delete it from your credit. And that ended up raising your credit FICO score. Number three, I don't have 20% saved for the down payment. You don't need 20%. Lenders usually ask for 20% when you buy investment properties. Let's say you have a property and you're going to buy another one as an investment, they ask you. But there is cases when you, let's say, live in a condo, a two-bedroom, one or two-bedroom condo, and you want to buy a house or a bigger property. Lenders allow you to put less down payment and you can rent the property, the first one, and on the second one, you're going to be living. It's going to be owner occupied. And then might ask to go 5, 10% sometimes. And there is ways always to make it work. So don't worry about the 20%. There is conventional loans for down payment assistance programs that they ask you for 3%, and they give you $7,500 for closing costs. And some of those loans don't ask for private mortgage insurance, which is an extra payment when you put less than 20%. But if you're in that program that has no private mortgage insurance, you're saving from the very beginning, which is sometimes from $200 to $400 a month. Okay, the number 4 is, should I pay off my student loan debt before buying a home? The student loan debt doesn't prevent you from buying a home. If you're making your payments on time, you are earning and preserving your good credit. If you're having trouble making your payments on the student loan services, they are very good on finding a plan that you can achieve. Putting off buying a home or putting off building wealth doesn't make sense. The lenders take in account a minimum of the payment of the student loan in account as a debt, and they put it together and let you know how much you can qualify for. Number 5, should I wait until the market gets better? No need. There is never a bad time to buy a right home. My job is to help you find a good buy and ensure that you have the financial ability to hold onto it. Every market has opportunity. It may just be harder to find. Over the time the investment in your home grows no matter what the market is. Like right now, the rents are going up every year. If you're in a rent control area, you pay 3 to 4% every year. So over 10 years, it's 30% or 40%. What you buy and your mortgage payment is fixed, you don't worry about increasing in the mortgage payment because the principal and interest don't change over the 30 years. The only thing that they may change is the property taxes or the insurance. But the rent, you don't have any control. So it's not wise to wait and wait because you can be losing. If you don't buy over the many years, you're losing the future equity on a property that you should buy. Number 6, will hiring a real estate agent save time? Of course, it does. Finding a home and dealing with all the paperwork involved in the process can really be overwhelming. By hiring a real estate agent, you'll save a ton of time and money in the long run. Even if you speak English very well and you went to the university and have degrees, you may not understand all the paperwork. Only the purchase contract is 16 pages. And attorneys write the contracts for the benefit of the buyers. And they use their own jargon that when I sit and read it, I have to explain it to you in a very simple way. I said, this means this. And I explained the purchase contract in every disclosure, paragraph by paragraph, so that everything is understood by you, what you're signing, and you keep a copy at the end of the transaction. For the future reference, you always have your own copy. So hire a real estate agent. Don't do it on your own because there are disclosures when you do it on your own that you won't be able to get them. We have access to them because we are part of the Board of Realtors in the California Department of Real Estate. And you as an individual don't have access to that. Sometimes people buy on their own and they said, escrow is going to help me. But escrow don't know anything about disclosures. They don't handle disclosures. They only handle the legal side of the real estate. There is title that handles the title side. The real estate, we as a realtors handle real estate with all the disclosures, and escrow handles their own disclosures. But they don't know about real estate. And they don't handle the paperwork, that kind of paperwork either. Benefits of owning your own home. Tax benefit is number one. Sometimes you can deduct the interest you pay on the mortgage, as I explained before, in property taxes, and some of the closing costs involved in a home buying. As I mentioned before, you present the closing statement to the tax preparer. The bank send you how much you pay in interest on the mortgage, and the county send you the property tax. Most of the mortgage payments have the property taxes and the insurance included, but still hold the paperwork. You can bring it into the tax preparer. Number two benefit, appreciation. Home values have appreciated by nearly 65 over the last 10 years in the San Fernando Valley home area, and also have gone up 7% over the last 12 months. Los Angeles County has a population of 10.1 million in 2015, and as of 2025, it decreased to 9.6 million. A lot of people left California, got fed up of California, and moving to Texas and to the Midwest because the home prices are less, and people bought in cash in the other states. Some of them returned because the weather that we have in California is unique. They don't have it in the Midwest or the East Coast. Los Angeles County is the largest in California, and the real estate market keeps rising, bringing equity to all homeowners. So you are in the right place and be always on the right time when buying. Number three benefit of owning your home is equity. Money paid for rent is money that you will never see again, but mortgage payments let you build equity, ownership interest in your home. You start from zero, and at the end of the 30 years, your house will be fully paid, and what you paid 30 years before will be duplicated or triplicated. So if you're not able to save money because you're raising a family, I tell my clients over the 30 years that your children are gone from your home, you can sell it, buy another property in some other state or some other area in cash, and still have plenty of money. That is your bank savings. And you have control when you invest in real estate, which you don't have when you invest in the stock market. The fourth benefit of owning a home is the savings that I just explained it to you. Building equity in your home is ready-made savings plan. And when you sell, you can generally take 250 for a single person or 500,000 for a married couple as gain without owing any federal income tax, zero tax. That's a beauty. You don't have it in any other investments, like in the stock market. You pay taxes to the state and to capital gain taxes as well. Number five benefit, predictability. Unlike rent, your fixed mortgage payments don't ever rise over the years. So your housing costs may actually decline over a longer period of time. However, keep in mind that property taxes, as I mentioned before, and insurance costs will likely increase over the time. But principal and interest is fixed for 30 years. So the payment has four parts: principal, interest, fixed for 30 years, taxes, and insurance may change over the years. Number six benefit of owning a home is the freedom. Your home is yours. You can decorate it any way you want it and choose the type of upgrades and amenities that appeal to your lifestyle You can invite your friends to parties, to get together, family to holidays, and you don't have to ask anybody. If you live in a condo, you have to go by rules in regards to noises. But over inside, if you don't overcome, you're not too noisy, that will be okay, or you stop at a certain hour. In a single family residence, it's different. But you have more freedom in a house and some freedom in the townhouses and condos as well. Number 7, benefit of owning a home, stability. Remaining in one neighborhood for several years allows you and your family over time to build long-lasting relationships within the community. It also offers the children the benefit of educational and social continuity. When you move to another place, you make friends and build relationship with your neighbors. Some families that have children that go to the same schools nearby, sometimes a parent takes the children 1 week and the other parent, the neighbor takes their children and yours to school and bring it back to their homes. And you build friends over the time. And that is stability is very important for the children as well as yourself, coming to your home to rest and knowing that you own the house, your own property. Continuing with this presentation, now I'm going to talk about the path to homeownership. Number 1, find a realtor. There are many realtors out there, but choosing one that is transparent, trustworthy, and reliable should be a primary priority when starting your home buying journey. And I'm going to add another one. Find a realtor that is patient, because the transactions could be 30 days, 45 days. Down payment assistance programs go to 60, 70 days. And there is a lot of paperwork, a lot of situations, a lot of stresses. We try to make it less stressful, but it's part of the transaction. So if you find a realtor that you notice that is not patient with you, talk to the realtor. Otherwise, if that doesn't change, you can cancel the relationship with the realtor that is not patient with you. Number 2, path to homeownership, get pre-approved. And I always said the number 1 step is taking the decision to buy whatever you want to buy, a condo, a house, a townhouse, a ranch, multi-units. Take the decision. Number 2 is get pre-approved. A mortgage pre-approval shows how much home you qualify for, and the best time to get pre-approved is before you start the house hunting. It can be 2 months or a year in advance. Do whatever makes sense for you. We will look for a down payment assistance program to you. Getting pre-approved is like having a check in your wallet or in your purse, ladies, that you're just going out to look for properties that you may like. You already know that the lender pre-approved you. It's a matter of just putting together the purchase offer for the house, and if the seller accepted, then you put your good faith deposit in escrow, and they remains in escrow until you sign the loan documents and close it, and you bring the difference of the down payment and closing costs. But getting pre-approval helps a lot. Sometimes there is multiple offers on a property, and sometimes there is none. So getting pre-approved in the eyes of the homeowner, of the seller, they feel confident when you are pre-approval. When you're just pre-qualified, they don't feel comfortable, because some pre-qualifications from some lenders is that You tell them how much you make and how much you pay monthly in debts, and they pre-qualify you based on that, but they never seen the taxes. They never seen your debts, your income. So there's nothing better than showing your income, your taxes, your debts, so the lender can see how much you can qualify based on that. And you know also that what is the interest rate you're gonna get, the type of loan, and the payment as well. Number 3 part of to homeownership is let's find your home. As I said, once you have the pre-approval, it's like having a check. So based on your affordability and criteria, we will search for homes that fit your needs and wants. This part can be fun and frustrated at the same time. I will look at all available resources to search for homes you will love. Also, you can do the search on your own on the major websites that have all the listings. I also offer something extra to my clients, that is the Perfect Home Finder program, in which I find properties that are not listed anywhere, that only the seller, myself, and my buyers will know about that property. So when I write an offer, you won't have any competition. Just it will be up to the seller to accept it or to give us a counter offer, but you won't be competing with any other buyer. Free Home Finder program is free to all my clients. Number 4, path to homeownership is make an offer and negotiate. When I show properties, I tell my clients, you're gonna tell me which house or houses you like, and I'll write the offers and negotiate it on your behalf. I run the comparables based on the bathrooms close to that property, and advise you how much the offer should be based on that information. Sometimes we write a little bit higher offer if there is competition, and if there is no competition, we can offer the asking price or sometimes less than that, depending on the property conditions. So once you find a house that you love, I will help you to make an offer on the house. Decide the details of your earnest money deposit. I ask the seller based on the inspection to pay for some expenses, and that money could be used for your closing costs. And there is contingencies in the contract that protect you, like loan contingency and appraisal contingency. If the appraisal contingency, I will explain it in a minute. The loan contingency means that if for whatever reason the lender declines your loan once we're in escrow in the process, you still can get your good faith deposit. The lender has to provide me a letter saying we are declining the loan because of this reason, and I present it to the sellers, and the seller and the buyer cancels the transaction, and the escrow refund. Once you sign the escrow form, they refund the deposit to you. Home appraisal, home inspection, and title search. At the beginning of the transaction, the title company goes into the county to search for the title for that property, to know who owns the property, how much they own, what are the liens on that property. And they do the same thing at the end, after you've signed the loan documents. When they go and file the title under your name, they want to make sure if there is any other liens that they didn't find at the beginning. If they find more liens, then from the seller's proceeds, those liens has to be paid, because the transfer has to be free and clear. Only your bank loan is going to be on the property. Inspection, you're going to hire an inspection at the beginning, because we need to know what is the property condition. Not everything that looks fine is fine. And since you as a buyer and me as a realtor are not experts in construction, in plumbing, electricity, and other things, we need to know. Once the inspection is done, the inspector sends us a copy. We go over together, and then we decided whatever action you want to take on that property. And talking about appraisals, let's say in this example, let's say you're buying a house for $600,000 and the appraisal comes at 600,000. That is okay. We continue with the transaction. If the appraisal comes above the offer, let's say at 610, 620 or more, that's perfect because you have equity before you close in the transaction. But in the case that the appraised value comes lower, let's say at 580 or 590, what I do is I ask your lender, your loan officer, to give me a copy of the appraisal, and I go to the seller and their listing agent, and I negotiate on your behalf, and I ask the seller, are you willing to sell the property at that appraised value? And they have the choice to say yes or no. If they say yes, then escrow draws a document that says the buyer and the seller agree on the new sales price at, let's say, at 590. But if the seller doesn't agree, I come to you and I ask you, are you willing to buy the house and bring the difference? And you may decide yes or no. If you decide yes, then we have to put it in writing to inform the seller that you're going to bring the difference. But if you say no, then escrow draws a cancellation, and it needs to be signed by the buyer and the seller. So in that case, you receive your good faith deposit that it's been sitting in escrow under your name. And this next step, number 6, is close on your new home. When the closing reports are complete, you will receive a closing disclosure statement. And that's the one that you're going to hold for next year because you're going to bring it to the tax preparer. And this specifies the loan teams and the cost and the exact figures like 30-year loan term, the interest rate, the monthly payments, and how much interest you're going to pay on the loan over the 30 years. And you and the seller will sign the paperwork. You sign the loan documents with the lender. It has to be notarized. The notary, if you're signing outside escrow, the notary has to sign it whatever you decided to. And the notary bring it to escrow. Escrow makes sure that everything is signed and complete. And escrow send it to the lender to make sure. And after that, in about 3 days, they disperse the money and send it into the title company, your lender. Because the title company is going to pay the debt into the bank, the seller's bank debt, and send the difference to the seller, wire the money to the seller. And it's usually a refund to the buyer. The escrow always has a little bit extra, and they always kind of refund some money. And once escrow closes, we didn't have any extra agreement, then the same day or the next day, they give me the keys and I provide it to you. If we have in writing that the seller will move in out of the property 3 days later, 1, 2, 3, or 5 days later, both need to sign it, and we wait until they move out. Usually the sellers have to move everything out of the property. It's in the contract. They have to move everything out. It's not in the contract that they have to leave it clean. They have to leave it empty, not necessarily clean. And once you get your keys and your closing statement, you can go into the utility companies and put your name on the utilities and get connected, the electricity and the water and power. And you and I are going to continue talking. because you're going to have a lot of questions over the time. I will not disappear. I'll be in touch with you and you'll be calling me at any time you need to. Then you made the preparedness to move into the new property. So here are a few reasons to choose me as your realtor. Transparency with open and honest communication. The ability to assess your wants and needs. I sit with you at the very beginning and I will ask you a lot of questions about the type of properties you're looking for, the location, if you're looking, if a house on Main Street is okay or not, if a house in a corner lot is okay or not. So I go over many questions to you. So before, and then I research the properties, and sometimes I view it before showing it to you. So I'll do that, and based on your criteria, I coordinate with trustworthy professionals, like the inspectors. Appraisal is chosen by the lender, the appraiser, and the appraisal company. I negotiate on your behalf with the sellers and other providers as well. And I troubleshoot the problems as they arise. And there is a lot of transparency on my side. Whatever I know, whatever I've been told, whenever I discover, I have to let you know. Either if it's good or bad, but I have to go and do that. There is one disclosure that I go over the property and I write down everything I see on the property. I have to disclose it. Everything is a visual disclosure only. And I'm a very patient. I explain every disclosure to every homeowner that I have. And another thing you can do, you can go into the Department of Real Estate, the DRE, and you can look for my license number, which is 01-200-694. My name is, I'm registered like Guillermo Alberto Pacheco, and you'll find out that my file is clean. I haven't done nothing illegal. I keep my file clean for 32 years. And I still want to keep it all the way to the end. I retire from real estate. And I can wait to chat with you soon. So I'm going to upload the calendar so you can choose the dates and the times in my calendar that you want to meet with me. We can set appointments for 30 minutes and we can go over any other questions that you may have. I probably answered many, explaining all this buying process. But if you want to go into more detailed personal questions about buying, about lenders, about down payment assistance programs, any other things, choose the time. Choose the time in my calendar and I can go over with you on it. And if you're not ready right now, or you're going to be ready in 3 months or later on, I'm here to help. And here is my information. Alberto Pacheco, 818-481-9211. My Department of Real Estate license is 01-200-694. And my email is alberto@albertopacheco.com. Thank you for being here today. And I look forward to talk to you in the near future. Set an appointment in my calendar. Thank you for being here today. And I look forward to being in touch with you and you with me as well at any time. I don't work on Sundays, or I only do it by appointments on Sundays. Sundays is the day I usually go to church. If I work, it will be after my service, second service, in the afternoons. I usually try to put together everything in the weekdays and Saturday. I'm available on Saturday from 9-10 all the way to 6 p.m. When it's a winter that 5 p.m. is dark, then I cut it at 4-4:30. Other than that, I'm available. Thank you for being here and have a nice day. I'm sorry, nice evening. Take care.